Brent joins us up next in Salt Lake City. Brent, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Sure. How can we help?
Okay. I have some cash, which it's about $55,000
All right.
in my credit union. And I'm really afraid of this economy, the way it sits right now. So,
What are you afraid of?
The collapse.
Based on?
Well, yeah. In the past, in past history, the government has come in and shut down banks and taken people's money. Granted, it's been 100 years ago, basically. It could happen, couldn't it?
Anything could happen, but what's likely to happen? You think all of your money is going to disappear in that bank?
Well, I have a lot more in that bank than just this cash.
And it's insured, correct?
It's insured, correct.
Up to $250,000 per person on the account.
Per person.
Do you have more than that in one account?
Well, I have two separate accounts in stocks, and
well, you can't be that scared since all your money's there. What's the fear driving all this? All of a sudden.
Listen to all these YouTube videos, I
think. So Brent,
fear-mongering clickbait YouTube videos.
Yeah, I mean, if that's all you do is pay attention to conspiracy theories and all these things that could happen, then it's going to absolutely impact you. And so I don't want to discount what your fears are, what you believe, your philosophies on government. I don't want to get down into that, but I would say this: the worst. I mean, you start concocting the worst case scenario, and could it happen? I guess. Who knows the percentage chances? You can't argue about that because no one knows the percentage chance of any of that happening. But could it happen? Sure. But living life requires you to make some smart decisions based on the realities of what's working, the stock market, mutual fund performance, all that stuff has got history, and that's what you know. But deciding what to do with your money based on something that you don't know is going to happen, that doesn't get you anywhere at all. So unless you're planning to go to a bunker somewhere and live off of the chickens and off grid and bury your money in coffee tins, then you know what to do. You know what to do with that money.
Yeah, I know.
Stop watching the YouTube apocalyptic videos, first of all.
That's why I've been watching you instead.
That's good. We got a head on our shoulders, and we don't do fear-mongering. Well, is there a question underneath all of this that we can help with today?
Well, and I just retired, and now I've got a 401k I've got to do something with too. Half's in a Roth and half of it's in a traditional. That, do I take it out or do I just leave it there and let it ride?
Well, do you need the money? What are you living off of right now?
No. Both my wife and I retired. I just retired the end of December. Combined, we live off of about $8,000 a month.
And where does that come from?
Her retirement from government and my retirement from Social Security and
so between the pension and Social Security, you guys aren't even touching retirement accounts.
Oh no.
What's the total of your nest egg?
2, 3 with our house. So our house is paid for basically.
What's the house worth?
6. Was worth 8 at the high peak.
So 600,000.
What do you have in retirement accounts?
Probably close to 400.
Okay, but it sounds like from the pension and Social Security, you guys are covered. So that 400 can continue to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would let it ride.
I just don't want to lose it.
Well, I mean, you'll have required minimum distributions on those eventually, on the traditional side.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing you'll have to worry about. But you're not going to lose it. It's not going to disappear into the abyss. Worst case, do you have any kids it'll be passed down to?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a great blessing and legacy for them.
Is it a good thing to put set up a trust and get everything put into a trust at this point in time?
If you'd like to, if there's a very specific way you want this money distributed with terms and conditions and some strings attached, then it's a wise thing to look into.
Yeah. Plus, I have insurance, my life insurance. And
do you have a will in place?
Insurance. We have a living will right now, but it's fairly old. We need to do something and update it. I'm sure.
I'd get all of that in order, and I would sleep well at night and get off the YouTube channels, Brent. You're doing great. You guys have a great retirement income, even without touching those accounts. But I'd just let it ride. And there's some great tax strategies you can use with the Roth versus traditional side. So I'd connect with a SmartVestor Pro if you want to figure out how to best utilize that money down the line.